All right, Ken, can I start off with, what's your first memory as a child? Where were you and...
My first memory as a child, I was living up at the other side of Moon Flat at Dry Creek.
Who was there and what were you doing at Dry Creek?
I lived there. My father worked on the main road on the Shire.
And was the family home at Dry Creek?
Yes, I do. It's about 11 miles from Moon Flat.
And what do you remember about the house?
Oh, yes. Not too much about the house. Dad got the house built, and a bloke built the house about I was only very young when he built it.
And what do you remember of the house itself? How many bedrooms and what was the kitchen like?
There's 3 bedrooms and just an ordinary old house.
Electricity?
Oh, no, not electricity. Tilly light. No electricity.
And were they kerosene lights?
That's there, you get old lantern, yeah.
And what about cooking? How was that done?
With the we had a wood stove, and I would do some cooking on the frying pan, I suppose, and things like that.
And how old were you when you remember this house and Dry Creek?
I was about 6-year-old, I suppose, and when I was about 8-year-old, I went to I got osteomyelitis, a disease in the bone, and I had in Sydney Hospital, for a while, and Dad took me to Sydney. Went down by train. I was in Sydney Hospital for 7 months. Yeah, with osteomyelitis, disease in the bone. It was.
And how did that affect you, Ken?
It seemed to be all right. I came out of it all right. Wasn't supposed to play any sport, but did just opposite.
So did you come back from Sydney Hospital back to Dry Creek?
Yeah.
What about your schooling, Ken? Did you go to school?
I didn't have any school. I left. I had a few years school, and they couldn't get a teacher. There was only 4 miles from Ellison, and the record wasn't entitled to a public teacher. So now Dad fought the case, and we finished up getting the teacher in the long run.
Where was the school at that you went to?
At Dry Creek. They built it for the people with the skill. Built a school on the side of the hill.
And how many kids went there, Ken?
Oh, about 20-odd kids first all.
So were you one of the first students there?
Yeah.
Do you remember the teacher?
My teacher one was brother-in-law, Ken Robertson. He was his brother-in-law. He was the second teacher, and Pat Mead, an Irish lady, she was the first teacher.
So what did your day consist of, Ken, as a child growing up in Dry Creek? What did you do? Did you have chores to do before or after school? Or?
I had horses.
Tell me about that.
I had a pony called Trixie, and she had a foal called Gypsy. And I broke the first horse in when I was 14. Yeah, I broke Gypsy in when I was 14. And a horse bucked and threw me and broke both wrists when I was 14 too. And I had 3 weeks in Scone Hospital.
Had you been riding horses since what age, Ken?
Very young, about 6 years old, I suppose. I break horses all, in spare time I used to break horses in. Yeah.
How did you learn to ride?
I just learned to ride. Dad was had an old horse, an old mare called Trixie. I used to ride her, and things like that.
When you were in Scone Hospital, you broke both your wrists.
Yeah.
And how long were you in the hospital for?
3 weeks. Unheard of now, they send you straight home. 3 weeks in Scone Hospital. They stayed there, they got the plaster off, see? It is one wrist.
And how did that affect you growing up?
Oh, it didn't seem to bother me. No.
When was the next time you got on a horse?
Oh, as soon as I got right. Wasn't very long.
Now, tell me about your dad. What sort of work did he do?
He was working at the Shire. He had a horse-drawn grader. A horse-drawn grader. He had two horses to pull the grader, and he had another mare. He had a cart horse. Can't travel with her.
And what sort of man was he, Ken? How would you describe him to someone who doesn't know him?
Oh, he's a good, tough man, good man, wild and woolly. He no marking around, could fight a bit too, and things like that,
Did you know any of your grandparents?
Yes, Albert Collison was one. He had apple orchard at Omdale Brook. Apple orchard at Omdale Brook. That was I used to go help him at cheering time, mustering all that caper with Albert Collison, and what else?
Where did he live?
Omdale Brook, about 10 miles from Moonane Flat.
And he was into horses as well?
Oh, more, he grew apples and things like that, good farmer.
And what about his wife, Ken?
Yeah, she was with him all the time. Eddie. And she was with him, his wife.
And what about your mum?
Your mum's father worked on Ellison Station for Latham. He worked at Ellison Station, and that's about all I can say. The good old fellow too, Hughie McPhee. My mum's father.
What about your mum? What sort of lady was she?
She's a lovely lady. She died when she was only 66 with a blood complaint. Yeah.
What do you remember about her as a child, Ken?
Oh, she's a lovely lady. Yeah.
What would her day consist of when you were a young boy? What did she have to do around the house?
Oh, the main working around the house. He'd cook meals and Christ knows what,
No electricity?
No fear, no.
So how did she cook
Oh,
and how did she wash?
She had an old, one of those with a hand washing machine, and cooked with an open fire, wood fire, with a grate, and pretty hard times.
What sort of meals would you have as a child? What would your mum cook?
Oh, bacon and eggs and steak, and kill her own sheep, lamb chops and things like that. Yeah.
And what did you learn as a young boy growing up in that environment? Could you slaughter your own sheep and butcher?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Who taught you to do that?
Oh, my father, yeah. And I did a fair bit of rabbit trapping too.
And was rabbit a big part of your diet?
Oh, yeah, eat rabbits. Didn't eat rabbits very much. Baked rabbits sometimes. Yeah.
And how would you catch the rabbit?
with a rabbit trap, with a rabbit trap.
You said your dad was a bit wild and woolly.
Oh yes, yes.
What stories have you heard about him?
Oh, he used to had a few fights and so forth around the bush, you know.
Do you remember any stories about that?
Oh, I saw him fight one fight, and he won too.
What was that about, Ken?
Oh, some argument he had with a bloke, and this bloke was a lot bigger too, and he beat him. I remember him saying, I was happy when his big ass hit the ground. He said, I knew I was the winner.
What happened as you grew up, Ken? Did you stay on the property until what age, and what did you do?
When I worked for Tom Reed on the station for 4 years at Half Moon.
What sort of work?
Stock work, cattle and sheep. I had some pretty good dogs, and I was known as a very good dog. Anyway, and it was 21. Dad sold out, and we went to Hollydean for a while. I was rabbit trapping there for 2 years, Hollydean. Not far from Denton, you know, Hollydean. And we left Hollydean. I went to Singleton. I had a job in the mine when I was 21. I opened cut mine, New Deal.
Tell me about rabbit trapping for 2 years. Did you catch and sell the rabbits?
Well, you trap for skins. Well, then they went to abattoirs. At the Denman, there was a freezing works. The bloke used to buy the rabbits. $3, 30 cents a pair. Yeah, rabbits.
What about the skins?
And when they were carcassed, the skins went with them. But the ordinary skins, you might have got, what are the rabbit skins worth? About 30 cents a pound, I think.
Who'd skin them?
Oh, you skin them, oh yes.
And is that what you did full time for 2 years?
For 2 years, on and off, yeah. And broke in a few horses in the meantime. Broke in a horse or two in the meantime.
With the rabbit trapping, would that be a daily job? Would you go out in the morning and then come back in the afternoon?
But what did you do? You'd set about 70 traps, and you'd set one here, and the next one, you had a pointer, an arrow pointer to where the other trap was, you know. You had to run them back to the front then. It's an art in rabbit trapping.
And how many rabbits might you get in a day?
Oh, you might get 20 or 30 rabbits. So you might only get 10. You leave the traps. You'd probably set them full one night at one place, and you might leave them the second night. And then you pull them all up and set them in a new place.
And then you stopped doing that? And
when I went to New Deal, when I went to Singleton, I got a job in the mine.
How did that come about, Ken?
The job popped up and I grabbed it, and the Dad was in the mine too.
Tell me about that environment when you first started there, Ken.
I started the mine. We just labouring, and I got a bulldozer and learned to drive a bulldozer, and I stayed there for 5 years. I left there. They put me in a washing plant. I did for 12 months. A coal washing plant. Have you seen one? I was the first one. There was at New Deal. The first washing plant, and I stayed there in the washing plant for 12 months. And I left. I went over to Foybrook, open cut.
What would your duties be at the washing plant? What did you do?
I had to, you had to watch the plant all the time. It was 32 switches there, and the coal used to go in the cone, and the rocket come out of one place, out of one chute, and the coal would go to the other chute. And then there's magnetite that washed all the stuff off the coal, off the coal and stone, and they'd save the washing bed to go back in a big cone. And I was there 12 months. It's too noisy too, very noisy. So I left it and went to Freiburg.
Did you have to work shift work?
Yeah. 8-hour shifts.
So you did day work, afternoon and night shift, dog watch?
Yeah. Not on the washing plant.
Okay.
No. When I went to Freiburg, I had to do the 36.
What was your duties?
I was driving a bulldozer mainly, and then after a few years, I got on the Lima shovel, and I was there for 8 years on the Lima. Me and another bloke.
Was that hard work?
No, pretty good. It's all dust in. At them times, there's no preventing the dust or nothing. That's why trouble, I think. And I was there 8 years, and in the finish, I got a job in the drag line. I was next up in seniority. I drove drag line on 17 years. I finished up on the drag line. Good job.
Was that a shift work job, the drag line?
Yes, yeah. It was a good job.
Let's go back. When you were a young teenager, what about your social life, Ken? What did you enjoy doing? What did you do with your spare time?
Oh, we'd go to a dance once in a blue moon. You'd go down to Moon End, and when you got old enough, you'd get drunk or something. I started drinking at an early age, and I've never had one drink since I was 39. I knocked off. Never had a drink of alcohol since I was 39. Best day's work ever I did. If you can't control it, knock it.
And where was the dance at Moon and Flat? Where did they hold it?
Dance at Moon End and dance at Elliston Station, up by Elliston. And you go to Moon and Brook. And
were they in like country halls or
country halls? That's all, yeah. Country music. And
what type of music?
Oh, accordion and violin, things, and banjo and things like that, you know.
And where would the beer or the alcohol come from at those dances?
Come from Moon and Flat, yeah.
And when did girls come on the scene, Ken?
Oh,
at the dances?
Oh, yes. I never got married till I was nearly 40-year-old.
Okay. Tell me about meeting your wife.
Yeah, I met her, she's a lot younger than me. I met her there at, where was it? When I was in Singleton. She came there and I met her there and we got married later on. And
do you remember where you met her at?
She used to ride a horse. She'd come over to my place on a horse, and I met her there, I think.
So all this time that you were working in the mines, you still had an interest in horses?
Oh, yes, yeah. In spare time, I used to break in horses. Mm.
How did you get that job, breaking horses in? Did people know of your reputation? And
yeah, people would ring me up and say, "Will you break a horse in for me?" And if I had time, I'd do him, and things like that, you know.
Would you get paid for that, Ken?
Paid?
Yeah, for breaking horses.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Breaking horses now, my job was $500. I was only getting £15.
So, what was the process? How do you go about breaking in a horse?
Well, if you get a young horse that hasn't been touched, you get a round yard, you know, and you throw the rope on him, and you buck and carry on, and you pull him, and finally you pull him up a bit, and you hold on him. You hold on him, you know, holder. You hold on his head and pull him around, and you pull him. You hook him to a fence, and after you get about 3 rears forward, you nearly always lead then. Well, then you didn't worry about him the next night. You put a bridle on him and leave the bridle on him all night. And then you put the gear on him. The next night, you'd put the bridle on him with the reins. You put a surcingle on him and trapper. And don't have it too tight. You probably leave it on him a few hours or all night. If it's a real hot day, you wouldn't tie him back to because the flies would eat his eyes out. You know, you had to work things out. And then about the 4th day, you'd lead him around or off another horse with a saddle on, and you know, you touch him all over and bag him and so forth. And then about the 5th day, you get on him. If you had someone with you, they'd probably lead him. Or if you didn't have someone with you, you did it on your own. And he might buck and he mightn't. If he's handled properly, he nearly always didn't buck. So,
could you tell, Ken, whether a horse was going to be easy to break in or not when you first?
Well, you strike some mongrel horses. They don't seem to have any brain, you know, but you got to handle a fair bit. The worse a horse was, the more you'd handle him. And I was a great believer in sugar. If a horse didn't like you, keeps you turning his bum on you, you'd pull him up and get the block sugar melted a bit and rub it on his gums. Do that, and after a while he'd be looking for sugar. He'd come round. A lot of bad horses would come round.
What would these horses be used for, Ken?
Oh, stock horses and race horses.
Did you get to meet any?
I broke in a mare called Jenny Robb. She won in Sydney. And I broke in another one, Persian Pattern. She won in Sydney. And trotters, I used to have the trotters. I put them in a long shaft. You long shafts with the trotters. And I discovered I changed the system. I used to put the hobbles on him first and ride him with hobbles on. He might buck a bit, but it didn't matter. And I'd ride him with the hobbles, and then I'd put him in the gig with the hobbles on. And they'd go pretty good then. There's a lot of ways of doing it, you know. Was knocking yourself about knocking the horse all about either too. As the trotters.
So, Ken, horses have been a big part of your life.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Did you ever, these horses that you broke in, did you ever get to go and watch them race? Or
Odd times, yeah. Yeah. I had a mare of my own called Rocket Globe. I bought her at Scone Sale. And I broke her in, and I leased her to a bloke in Newcastle. He wasn't much of a trainer, and he didn't win a race. I got home, had a trainer, only a bush trainer. He said, I'll give your mare a run. He said, I'll freshen up and give her a start. And she won at Scone then. She won at Scone at 8-1 at the day's races. So then I wasn't satisfied. I had a mate in Queensland, Bill Sly, a mate in Queensland. And I said, I'll send you up a good mare for you. Might be all right. And she won 2 on the Gold Coast. And he ran a big at Kembla Grange. She won a big race there. And I was a top jockey in Queensland rode her. Anyhow, this bloke, he went and saw the bloke, Bill Sly went and saw the bloke. He said, how do you think she'll go? He said, to Bill, do you own the house? Own the house? Bill said, yes. Well, he said, put her over. He said, she'll win tomorrow. And he didn't do that, but she did win. It won 10 lengths. And I won a bit of money that day. Anyway, she had to run and rail after race, a few races after, and she was finished then. Rocket Lab. I had a good mare called Persian Pattern. Well, Persian Pattern was the first Melbourne award in Scone. Anyhow, she won at Sydney. She won at Sydney at a race record in Sydney. And then she won another one in Sydney. And she won at Newcastle. It's the first one she won. She won at Newcastle, Gosford, Wyong, and Kembla Grange. 6 races she won. And a few other horses won too. I bred. And, had a pretty interesting time with racehorses.
You would have met some characters around in the horse racing game, Ken. Does anyone stand out for you about some of the characters that you might have met over the years?
Well, I can't just think now.
Now, what about, when did children come along for you, Ken?
The first one was Tracy. She, and then I don't know how long after, there's Kylie, and then there's Jody. All good horses, all good on horses, extra. Yeah.
Did you teach them all to ride?
Oh, well, I don't know. I suppose the mothers did.
And what was it like becoming a dad for the first time?
Oh, pretty good, yeah. Yeah. I was a fair age. I was 27 years younger, 27 years older than my wife, see.
And in those days, were you involved with the birth, or did you just turn up when Tracy was born?
Oh, yes. I suppose so. I forget now.
What happened then? What happened after children and you were working the drag line? What was the next chapter in your life?
Well, I had the kids there, and Jodie's only 12 when the wife went, when she left.
Did you then look after the kids, Ken?
Yes. The kids stayed with me.
And what was that like, bringing up 3 daughters?
Oh, tough at times, but they were good kids. They were good. They did pretty well. Did that old, and pretty, I was pretty good with them.
That era, Ken. In that era, you probably didn't get a lot of single dads looking after 3 daughters.
No.
How was that?
Oh, I don't know. I just battled on. We had the horses. We used to go take the horses to Jim Carner's and travel around a bit.
So you spent a lot of time together?
Oh yeah, we went to went out in the Orange one weekend, and they competed, the girls, and went pretty good too, and things like that, you know. We used to camp in the truck. Good lifestyle.
And they're grown now. They've got their own kids.
Yeah,
So you've got grandchildren.
they're good riders too.
The grandkids.
These two little girls, they're going to compete in July in the state championships, jumping. They got good horses, and they're getting tuition by a couple of good people at present.
And do they know about their granddad breaking in horses and?
Oh yeah.
And do you give them advice?
Oh, a little bit. One bloke, he's only 14, and he broke his own horse in the air. Kyle's a young fella. He's doing a good job. Yeah.
And there's another young fellow up there, and he's got a football in his hand.
Oh, he's a good footballer, this bloke. Yeah. And now the big fella's not here. He's a young dog success. He's in that fellow. He's a young dog.
He's a good footballer too.
Good footballer, yeah. He got a ref ticket there. He's got a referee's ticket too as well. For juniors.
So your grandchildren bring you a lot of joy, Ken?
Oh yeah. Football and horses and Christ, that's what.
And are you teaching them how to put a bet on? Can they put a bet on at the TAB or?
Oh yeah, the girls do. Yeah, girls do. For me. I don't bet very often.
Ken, has there been any one person or group of people that have had an influence over how you've lived your life and helped shape you into the man that you've become?
I don't know really.
Do you think your dad has influenced who you've become?
I think so, yeah, probably, yeah. He was a good fella.
What about working in the mines? Did you come across anybody there that perhaps was a mentor, or that you took something that they had and used it in your life?
Well, the bloke I worked with, he was a very good fella. I took a lot of notice of him, and we got along good together. And he retired, he died for a few years now.
What was his name? Do you remember?
Ivan Gardner.
What was it about him that made him a good fella?
He was a good teacher. He told me all about the drag line, and he was a non-drinker too. Not that I say non-drinker, any good, but he was a pretty level-headed fella. I took a lot of notice of him, and he got me going. I got going well after with these few comments he made. He was real good. I took a lot of notice of blokes that I knew what you know what I mean. If you blokes that didn't know, you don't take notice of them. I took a lot of notice of Ivan Gardner.
Has faith or God ever played a part in your life?
Faith or God?
Yeah, religion, has that ever played?
No, I'm not religious. No, I'm not religious. Do unto others like them to do unto you. That's my saying.
Well, my next question was going to be, if you could put a sign up that the whole world could see, what advice would you give? What you just said there, do unto others as they would have done to you. What advice would you perhaps give your grandchildren? Perhaps if life's not going the way that you think it should, What's helped you get through the tough times, Ken?
An old saying was, one of my mate said, if you try and be good to someone every day, if you can't be good to someone every day, try and be good to yourself.
What have you done in your life when things haven't gone to plan? What's got you through the tough times, Ken?
I just sort of battle on, I think. Battle on.
It seems that your life has been full of hard work, from
Yes.
breaking horses, catching rabbits, working in the mines.
Yeah.
When you look back over your life, what do you fondly remember?
Well, I don't know really. I enjoyed my life to a big extent with horses and God knows what, you know.
What brings you joy now? What brings a smile to your face now?
Well, the kids, the grandkids, they're going so well, and you couldn't complain about the kids. I tell you, beautiful kids, and I can't. Well, I try to be happy. I'm happy to a certain extent too, you know. I'm worn out, but still for all I'm trying to hang on as long as I can.
What are you looking forward to?
To see the kids going so well, the horses.
Well, Ken, it's been an absolute privilege
Yeah.
to sit here and share some of your story.
Yeah.
Your life's been full of hard work.
Yeah. Battled on. You got to battle on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too, very much too.